I'm going to show you the transfer tab. So this is this section on the application, and I'll show you what we can do. So you see here you have at the very top you have the regular search bar. You have the filter, which is the standard filter where you could check by search by currency, by latest, the transaction new to old to new, things like that, or the source or beneficiaries. You have the standard search where you could search by ID, amount, anything like that. And you have the scheduled and the history. So on the previous video, on the alert one, I showed you how I paid 50% of my 100,000 payables to my European supplier. So it was 50,000 euro worth, which was $59,208. We just see here as scheduled because it's still processing and it's going to take a couple of days for the supplier to get it. Now, if you get the history, so those are the one who already posted and the one that already went through. So those are examples of current payments that we made, of transfer that we made, and I'll show you here how to create a transfer. So you will go to add a new transfer. So obviously the transfer page is for it's for smaller payments or transfer between accounts. So payments who are to employees or fixed costs or things who are not necessarily have a bill for it. So that will be an example. So again, we're asking to pick the currency pair. So here we could pick any currency pair. So here it shows British pounds. Let's keep it that way. So for example, I have to pay my employee £1,000. £1,000. So I will put £1,000 here. Our system will request a code in dollars. So it costs 1,407.9 that US dollars to send £1,000, including all fees. I would say the transaction title. So pay. My employee, for example, in UK. I would have two options here: send between accounts or beneficiaries. So between accounts is if I'm moving money between my two accounts in different currencies. So if I have an account in the UK and I want to send money to it or send back money from the UK to the US, but let's keep in that example. I'm paying someone, so it will be a beneficiary. I will add a beneficiary. Again, our system only pick the British pound accounts, and if I don't have my beneficiary listed, I could always manually add it. I'm just not going to go through the whole process. It takes some time, but you could add it as a company or as an individual. So let's say this is my employee. I would say added. Reason, I would say paid for week of July 31st, for example. That would be his. That would be his, for example, his salary for that week, the date when the conversion happens, so when we're converting that amount between our wallets, and when I wanted to receive the money. So for example, I'll pay him by the 1st, August 1st, and I could add an attachment if I have a bill or anything like that. Again, you see here the guarantee for minute 35. This is the code that we're locking for that amount of time guaranteed from a provider. I do a review transaction. I'll have a breakdown, again, paying employee in the UK, how much I'm sending in dollars, how much my employee is receiving, and he will be getting a confirmation email saying that £1,000 getting to his account. I would slide to review transaction and pay it. Again, we're processing here the payment live, and we'll have a confirmation as soon as the payment went through or is in process in transit, and that will be it. So here, transaction completed. We have, again, the summary of the transaction, and if I go to see our transfer, it should be in scheduled one because we gave him a couple of days until the 1st. Today we are the 29th, so that's why it's still pending processing. But you see here, pay my employee in the UK, the dollar amount, but it's really equivalent to £1,000, and that's basically it for the alert section of the app.